Right, I'm going to share with you the link to the YouTube where you can go and you can see the recordings. I've already put up the last week's recording for our group here. Give me 1 second. Guess we can use that. Hold on 1 sec. I'll also give you the link for the new room that we'll be moving for is Tuesday. Moving forward is Tuesday. Okay, 1 sec. Second. Okay. Okay. There we go. The last week from Kitch. It's right there. Let's get that for you. Okay, so I'm going to give you the video URL. 1 sec here. So the video URL is here, okay, for our meeting. So you can click on that, and you can also save, you can subscribe to it, and that way when new videos come up, you'll be alerted. So I'll give you a chance to do that. So click on that, subscribe, and you can watch the video from last week. And there's, I think we're up to 70 videos that you can watch and review. Once you subscribe, you'll be able to view them all. Just watch the videos, yeah, and you'll see, different things, different properties evaluated. It's a good resource. Also, let me give you the meeting link for next week. Well, actually, I want to let everybody know that we will be taking next week off, as it's March break where I am, where you guys are too, actually, now that I think about it. We're all in Ontario. So we will be taking next week off due to the break. Why are you not being friends with me right now? 1 second. Get to that link. As soon as this thing starts working with me. Try that again. Why are you doing that to me, my friend? Okay, there we go. No, I don't want to be missed. Sorry, folks, I'm just trying to get the link. And for some reason, it does not want to give it to me. All right, sometimes, technology. Let's do this. I'm not talking very loud, so you know it's not the volume. It's me. Just talking to myself, which I often get ribbed about in my family. Something I do. Okay, give me 1 sec. Let me get the link. All right. right, we're working here. Okay, so this is the link moving forward for our meeting. My chat window just vanished, but I can still hear you. I don't know what caused that. Reload, I guess. Andy, you can get back in. That's the new meeting. You want to click on that and save it to your favorites. That'll be moving forward on Tuesdays at 8:30, same time, different day. You'll be joining the larger group across Canada. I just want to, I spend these few first weeks with you just to make sure your questions are answered and give you an opportunity to just get comfortable with things. Let me see here. Okay. If there's anybody that wants me to review anything, send it to me now. I'm going to ask you though. Yeah, you sent me some properties. It looks like. Yeah, we need to put, if you could please, when you send me properties, they need to be in the sheet so I can quickly evaluate them. Otherwise, I'm inputting in myself. Really not the best way, the most efficient way. If you want feedback, right away what you do. So just if you could, I'll walk through the sheet again with you, so you feel more comfortable with it. But my hope is that you get into the in the habit of looking at these properties, quickly evaluating them. If you think there's an opportunity and you want more assistance with it, that's when you reach out to me, obviously, and make sure that you're not making any mistakes. Very key. Let's not make any mistakes early in the game. That'll really hurt us. We don't want to do that. So please, you're part of this elite family now, the Legacy family. Please let me help you. Let us help you to make sure you don't make any mistakes. Okay. All right. So does anybody have any questions or anything they wanted to cover tonight? See some of you writing. Okay, I'm going to give you also a contact for lawyer, accountant. I promise you that too. The lawyers and accountants that teach our class, at least. 1 second. Okay, so here, just keep doing test properties to get the ROI to 30. Okay, so first thing I'll say is I don't want you to focus on 30. I want you to focus on 10. That's really what I want you to look at as a guide. So that's somebody you can reach out to that's familiar with the way we do business, the way we set up corporations. That's another gentleman that I work with. You can grab either one of them. They know how to set up the corps the way we do, and they're familiar. Just tell them that you're a student of mine and you just got some questions, and it's totally up to you if you want to do business with them. You can, you can't. Totally. If you're comfortable, move forward. If you have somebody you're comfortable with, you're happy with, that's great. You can do that. As you build out, and as we join the larger group, you'll really get a lot of connections with different provinces, different places, the people that they're working with. We do have realtors, mortgage brokers that are students of ours that are, maybe an option for you to work with. If you have somebody, like I said, that's great. Really just trying to build out that network, and when you join the larger group, we can really start to beef up the network you have across Canada, okay, because you'll be seeing people from all over. So typically, first name, where you're from, so other people on the call know you're from there. Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Everybody got that? Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. That's when we'll be meeting moving forward. This was just a side group to ensure that you're, taken care of. And if you have any questions, and obviously I'll continue to assist and help you. If you need help, you reach out to me. Again, really don't want you to make any mistakes. I want you to take and utilize the family that you're a part of now, and also network with the rest of the students across Canada, okay? All right, so somebody sent me a property, a few of them, but they're Kijiji listings. If you want, what I'll do is I'll look at one of those properties, you can give me the numbers, and I'll put them in on the sheet for everyone to see. Ultimately, I would like you moving forward to use the sheet to put in that information. Give me 1 second. All right, Philip sent me one. Let's send that there. Any questions, folks? How you feeling? You still excited? Pumped? I hope so. Yeah, good. All right, so has everybody got these files? Everybody's good? Feeling good, pumped, good. So everybody, the 104-6, everybody have that open? 104-6, everybody have it open? Anybody need more time to download those files? We're good? Okay, well, good news. That's good. All right, so let me bring up 1 second. Let's see, 13. Let's see. Is that what that is? I'm not liking email these days. Here's this. Is the 104? Yeah, the 104 is different than the 103. I did some updates to it. So probably a good idea to take the update. Just makes life easier to use it. I'm trying to do updates as needed, as I see opportunity. As I work through the sheet and explain it, I find, you know what, it'd be cool if we could do this and this and this. So I'm working on a couple different things right now to make it easier for us to use, to extract more information quickly. So this one has a little investor component in it. I'll explain how that works, and we'll continue to update, like I said, the sheet as needed. Okay. So if there's something you see and you'd like to see, and you can always suggest, I wish you could do this. I'm more than happy to look at that. I'm pretty proficient in Excel, and can make a lot of data extract some good information quickly from my old days. Okay. All right. Okay. Why are you not friends with me? What's the problem, kids? Is that it? Okay, my email is done. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. Remember to enable content. Yep, good point. This is one. Yep, can't hear you. You can't hear me? I can. Lost you for a bit. Okay, can you hear me now? Sometimes I'll go quiet, but typically I will speak up when I'm talking to you. If I get quiet, it might be because I'm talking to myself. All right. So yeah, the new one's slightly different. And there was a glitch I saw on one of the sheets when I made a change to it. I'm just making sure that you don't have that. Let me see. So I'm sure we're okay now with the new one, but let me see. Yeah, if you look at the new sheet, you can put your expenses in. Let me explain. So we're good, right, folks? I'm gonna share my screen now. We good? Nobody needs extra time? No, we're good? Okay, let's do it. All right. Share screen. Share. Okay. So you can see that okay, everybody? Okay. Actually, that's not what I want. I want this. Okay. So let me show you this sheet and what's different, and how it can help, okay? So what I've added is this. this sheet, if you don't already have it, this is an expense sheet where you can put your exact expenses in, okay? And it'll update those expenses here, exact expenses. Vacancy property management will also update from this side. So if I go 5, which is pretty standard, 5 and 10, that'll update over here, okay? So just trying to make it easier to work with the sheet. So does anybody have any questions? You can put exact expenses here that you get. And if you have other ones that are not in this list, just you can change it here. The main thing is that we're accounting for it. So once we get that breakdown, it'll automatically update it over here for exact expenses. The vacancy property management is a function of these 3 right here. We'd like them to be 5, 5, and 10. If it's more, obviously put more. Don't want you to really go lower than this, just to make sure you're safe, okay? Also, if we come down here, I've made the appreciation go to 5 years. Obviously, you can do it on any number that you want, right? And you can put any percentages that you want. If you only want 3 years, you can put 3 years. And this component here does an investor. What it does is it takes the amount the seller investor here puts in, and what it does is it takes the cash flow, splits the cash flow 50-50. Capital gains is after the sale, total income they make, and the return they make as a partner. Now, I'm going to change this and update this to also include if they're a lender. So this would be an investor as a partner. We'll look at a lender. We'll look at different splits that you can do. I want the sheet to be able to do all that stuff for us, okay? So give me some time with it. I'll do another update on this to make the investor more beefy, so it shows more. But it'll be a good help for us to understand what can be done. Now this is making an assumption the investor that we're doing they're splitting the cash flow and the capital gains after we sell the property. So that's the assumption we make here. Obviously we can change that and I'll make it more flexible for us when we do it. Okay, so this is the new sheet. Repairs obviously are here. Asking price is here. Now the ARV is independent now. I've made it independent because you can put the ARV, what you believe it's going to be worth or what you verified. Repairs will always, be something that we gotta look at. So if the repairs are 17,000 and the purchase price is 340,000, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the. Give me 1 second. I want to check something. Let me see something. No, okay, that's good. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this the total investment, repairs and purchase price. I'm going to add them together when we're evaluating these numbers, okay? That's what I'm going to do. I think that's a more accurate assumption. So let's look at, I'll fix that, don't worry. Right now it's just looking at the 340. I don't believe I did that, did I? No. So the repairs section is independent of the purchase price. I'm going to make these add up. So because really when you're doing repairs, you're adding all that stuff together, right? I mean, really that's the investment. So we'll look at that as an option here also, okay? Do you have any documents we have tell us the baseline, for example, ROI invest? Yeah, good question. So for baselines, this is what I would like you to see, and I'll put that right there so you can see it when we update this sheet again. But really what we want here, and I'll just put this in, ROI. So ROI, what do we want for ROI? What do we want for cash flow? Bare minimums, right? And what do we want for invested in property, okay? Okay. In deal, okay? Okay, so invested in deal. What are the numbers that we're looking for when we're doing this? Okay, so back. Okay, so ROI, we're looking for bare minimum ROI is 10%. That's cash on cash return, okay? Cash on cash return, okay? Let's put that in there. Cash, which is really the only thing that matters, is cash on cash. Okay, so cash Okay, cash on cash. Okay. For now, let's just leave it there. Cash on cash. Cash flow, we want 75 a door. 75 a door. Per unit. Unit. Okay. And invested in the deal, 10% or less as a rule. Okay. Now, obviously, there's things that we can look at outside of this box, but really, that's what you're looking for. Is this right here? That's really the thing that we're looking for to ensure that you know we're putting ourselves in the best possible position to make this deal work for us. Okay, so 10% cash flow, 75 a door per unit, invested in deal, 10% or less. Okay, is that what you mean? Hope that helps. What's cash on cash? So cash on cash is how much cash did I put in the deal, and what's my return? This thing calculates right here, cash on cash. And I really need to change that. I still got some sheets. I want you to focus on minimum 10%. So cash on cash. So let's pretend that I put 20% in this deal. Okay. So if I put 20% out of my pocket here, right? This calculates how much I make on my return on my investment on my cash. This cash. Okay. So obviously we'd want you know, the amount of money that we put in really is what matters to us. Because the other option is here, and you'll look at here. What this does is it calculates what's your return on investment if you paid cash, 4.4%. You know, this would be the cash flow if you paid cash, right? That cash flow looks very appealing, but that looks horrible. 4.4% is horrible. It's not worth taking the risk of real estate, in my view, at 4.4%. We need double digits or better. So, you know, I wanted to separate. This side basically if you paid cash. This is the side with if we did financing, right? That's what we're covering. And then we have the appreciation, and obviously we have the investor. And you'll see the investor. The investor is investment is zero, so the ROI really is zero because none of this stuff matters because they didn't put any money in. If they put money in, that would change their return on investment. Okay, and if it doesn't show an investment like a seller financing or partner, I'll make this show zero. All these numbers will be zero. I just need to update it, but that I'll continue to work on that. Okay, all right, pretty cool. Yes, does all that for us. It's good for us. Makes life easier, for real. Okay, so okay, so we'll leave that there. So again, the big change is you can put the exact expenses and it'll update it. So to give you an example, if I make that a zero, that's going to show zero over here. Here it's going to be zero. Here, and I'm pretty sure I don't need that anymore, but I'll figure that out later. Okay. So it says zero here for exact expenses. So let's put an amount in. Let's put $1,000 for utilities. So that, and it'll show you them per month is $83. But the 1,000 is how it's calculated because it's yearly numbers. You'll see that 1,000 shows up there. Okay. All right. We good? Pull tabs for boxes explaining what they would be very helpful. Yeah, I can work on that. Yeah. You mean like this? I have them over here actually. So here, cell will appear red if value is not greater or equal to 10. That's what you mean, yes? Okay. Yeah, okay. No worries. Yeah, we can do that. We can add those. That's a good idea. It'll help better understand what these things mean. Sure. Okay. Anything else? Money? Sure. All right. Okay, let's look at a deal. You want to look at a deal? Too funny, man. All right, let's look at something that was sent to me. Give me 1 second. I got to close this for a second. Okay, I'll bring it up. Give me a sec. So let's look at do that. All right. Okay. So let's look at this property. Okay. So 1 second. This was Philip. Philip, you sent me this property. Okay. So we're gonna look at this property now. Okay. Here we go. All right. So you can see my screen here. Everybody okay? Yep. All right. Good. Okay, so Philip, we got this property, 209,750, purchase price 209,750, ARV 209,750. Okay, no change there. Monthly gross rent is $1,400. Number of units is 1. So this is a single family home, I assume. Is that right, Philip? Okay, so we look at the gross rents, expenses. You have here 10,000. Cap rate's 5.2, GRM is 12.9. Now again, when we see that cap rate, it's in the 5 range. It's getting close to making it, really, really difficult to make money. Just because once we add financing into this, there's not going to be much left over. Okay, but let's look at this. So if we went 80%, 10%, partner, seller financing, whatever, out of pocket 10%, we did a 30-year, 25-year at 3.5, a 30-year at 5%. This would be our mortgage payment per month. That'd be yearly. We're showing a negative cash flow and a negative cash-on-cash return. Okay, so this property, what can we do to fix this property? Because clearly these numbers are no good, right? What are some of the ideas you have for fixing this property or making it better? Anybody? No? It's okay to be wrong in here. This is where you want to be wrong. Borrow? Okay, well, if you borrow, your interest is actually going to make this worse because the cost of financing. Raise rents. This is tough because the rents, there's market rents, right? If it's $1,400, it's $1,400. If you say you want $1,800, no one's going to rent it. There we go. Good job. Rent to own. Good. Maria, good. So what we can do is look at this as a rent to own opportunity. Good job. So what would this look like as a rent to own? Well, we take away these expenses, right, which are the vacancy maintenance and property management. So we make this 0 because we don't have to pay for that anymore. And make that 0, okay? And those expenses are not going to go away, insurance and taxes, but these expenses will go away. And we increase the rent by $250. So that's going to give us $1,650. Okay? Watch what happens. Boom. Cash flows. Okay? Everybody see that? So what did we do? We took away some expenses. We don't have to pay for that in the rent to own. We increased the rent because they're going to pay us an extra credit every month. That increased our cap rate. That's what's going to make this property make money. Okay? So much so, look at the cash on cash return is 21%. That's excellent. We could even do this. We can go like this at 20%. And even at 20%, putting 20% down, this property would work. 13% and $482 a month. Now, why 250? That's just a quick, fast number. It could be anything. It could be 300, could be 400. Really, you don't want to go more than a couple $100 is really the difference between somebody renting and somebody owning in the way of income every month. It's probably a little bit higher, but they shouldn't have a problem with it because you're going to give it back to them as long as they buy the house. But also, it's going to be a question of, the ability the ability to be able to finance the property themselves, because rent is lower than the actual cost of ownership because of the expenses associated with it. We can see that we're paying this right now, but that's an expense they're going to take on when they take ownership. So in this case, a good approach might be to look at, even if we put 20% down of our own money, we'd still be in good shape. Don't really want to put 20% down. Wouldn't mind, though, bringing in an investor, right, and paying the investor, no return, right, because they're going to be a partner. We're going to bring them in as a partner. And what we do is we split the cash flow and split the capital gains. So we split $33,000 and we'd split the $482 per month. Does that make sense? Yeah. Do you see the big difference? Convert? It's not the property. It's not the property. It's the structure. This is the same property. We haven't changed it. We haven't changed the property at all. But what we've changed, effectively in this case, is we've changed the structure, and that's what's made this work for us. That's what's made it allowable, right? Profitable, And now that I think about it, I'm going to put something right there that's going to convert properties into rent-to-own. That's what I'm going to do. It'll automatically do it. That's what we should do. I like that. That's a good idea. Okay, we'll make that update, okay? And if we had a partner, or the numbers for partner, we'd see what the partner made on this deal, and how much money they would make, and how much money we'd make. But right now it's not set up for the rent-to-own. But you can see that single-family homes are just not going to cash flow for us, and we need to find a better way and another way to make these properties work. And otherwise it's not worth having. It's not worth having. Okay. Any questions? No, I'm not good, eh? Wow. Good stuff. Okay. Is there any area of this, these numbers that aren't clear to you? When we do, I did a meeting yesterday with the group in Canada, and we went through a few properties. Don't worry if you don't, because I move pretty fast through these. You just get used to it. You will too. You absolutely can make properties better if you start working. Forget about this stuff, the price. Obviously, we're going to try to get a best price, for sure. And someone mentioned that, and you're absolutely right. A lower price would help. But that's less, of a skill, right? Just trying to negotiate a lower price, which negotiation is very important. But there's points where you can't move this much, where it's not going to make a difference. So the advantage for us is learning how to do this side of it. This side of the deal is the deal that's going to make you wealthy. The creative financing side. Really it is. I'm still reading the documents. Are there any strategies to make this property work? You mean beyond rent to own like we just did? Yes. Okay. So no, you can't unless you remove. You can't. There's a couple places. I'll tell you where you can. Okay. Let's go back to where it was. Okay. This is where it was. Okay. So you see that the property this way doesn't make any money. It's not going to make you any money. You're going to lose money on this deal. Now let's go conventional too. I want you to see, right, in a conventional investment. Okay. So if we put 20% down, the property is, if we go 3 year, let me make this 0, okay, because there's no money there. We're going to make $72, and you're going to cash return 2.1%. It's not even worth doing, right? Everybody agree with that? It's not worth taking the risk for 2%, right? That's not, we're not interested in that. So what are the areas that you can work on to improve a property, naturally, just normally? Well, there's a couple areas. One is obviously we can increase the rent, but the market can only take so much, increases. So if I change this to, let me just move this up a bit so you can see it. If I move this to 1,600, because the rent's allowed in the area, you can see that your end number 202. Now you're 5.8%. That's still not good enough, right? And remember, we're putting 20% down. So we've broken already 2 rules. We're putting too much money in this property, and the cash-on-cash return is too low, okay? What if it was 75 a door? Well, even if this is 75 a door, that's just a minimum for us. You still need a return, right? This is a function of this. These are related to each other, right? So if I wanted to make, if I wanted to get my return up, say, I have to find a way to reduce the cost of the loan. So let me see. If I went to a 30-year loan, that would help. So I went to a 30-year loan, and that gave me an 8.3. But you need all of these things. You need a 10, 75, and only 10% in. That's what you're looking for. Does that make sense? So if it's 75 a door, that's not good enough. That's not, because you can make any property cash flow, just pay it off. This is what this shows you. If I pay off the property, I'll make more than 75 a door, but the return is horrible, 5.6%. So a couple of things. Does that answer your question, Troy? Sammy, is that good? Okay. So we raised the rent a couple $100. That helped. We increased the financing. That helped, right? And if I go to 35, this is a huge area that's going to help. That'll fix it. So if I go to 35-year mortgage at 3.5, that'll get me to 10%. Does everybody understand why that happened? Why did changing the amortization make this property work? How did that help me? Why did I improve my position by going longer? Lower the monthly payments. Yep, that's it. We lower the monthly payments, that's going to make all these numbers look better. So, do we want our mortgage to be longer or shorter? Based on that, do we want our mortgages to be longer or shorter? Yeah, we want them to be longer, much longer. So I would say just about in every case, but there's always an exception to every rule in most things in life. So to give you an example. Yeah, that's right. Never pay it off. Let me give you an example. Let's go 99 years. You ready? You ready for 99 years? Wow. Your cash flow, your return goes up 50%. Your cash flow like doubles, right? So that's basically an interest-only loan, 99 years. So really, this property is not purchased for capital gains. It's purchased for cash flow. So the longer the better. So, and I want everybody to get their head around the idea that in this game, if you do it right, everybody wins. So does the lender win if they have a 99-year mortgage with us? Do they win? Yeah, they win. Do we win? Yeah, we win too. I mean, everybody can win. And it's so hard to get your head around that because of the way we were raised. When it came to money, there was a winner and a loser, right? It was a zero-sum game. You couldn't have two winners, right? That was the idea when it came to finance and money, which is horrible, right? When you think about it, it's a horrible thing, right? So, it's very important for us to start, entertaining that idea. Can we get a 35 to 99-year mortgage? Well, you can definitely, there's lenders out there that'll do 30 or even 35. If you go to a mortgage broker, it's the best thing to do. If you're going from a bank's going to do 25. But understand something, the banks are doing that because CMHC said they won't insure a loan, 25 years, they won't insure the loan. If you go to 30 years, they won't insure the loan. That's going to change, though, folks. That's going to change. Why do you think they might look at up in the amortization? Anybody know? Why would they want to up the amortization? To high prices? To the prices are too high? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Anybody else? Why would they want to extend the mortgage? People can afford. If the payments are lower, many people can have loans. No money. Presently can't afford to live in cities where these are all right. Every one of these. They earn more interest. The interest, yeah, they earn more interest. They don't mind doing it. They don't mind doing it. They want to give, yeah, you're right. They want to give as many loans as they can. So this is what it is. Watch this. This is hilarious to watch, okay? So let's say let's say, forget about this stuff for a second, because I want to show you something, okay? Let's say you want to buy this house for yourself. This is not investment property, okay? So we're not looking at an investment property. I don't want you to focus on this. I want you to focus on the financing part, okay? So let's say that you're a first-time home buyer. You put 95%, okay? And mortgage rates, and today, when you go get a mortgage for yourself, you actually have to be stress tested against the interest rate, which is the listed or bank rate, posted rate, which is higher than this, right? And really, you're looking at bank rates like 5, right? So that's what you gotta meet as a requirement to get a loan from the bank, okay? So the thing I want you to look at is don't look at this stuff. That's not important. What I want you to focus on is on this part, okay? So let's say there's a guy that comes to the bank and he can afford, with all his other expenses, all the other things that they go through to check if you can afford a house, he can afford a house for $1,200 a month, right? That's the mortgage payment he can afford, okay? $1,200, okay? Let me just do this so you can see it, okay? So he can afford $1,200. That's what he can afford, okay? $1,200, okay? Now, they're making you stress tests at this level, okay? He can afford, so what they do is they say, hey, okay, you can afford $1,200, then you can afford a house that's $210,000, okay? But can you afford a house that's $250,000? Let's see if the guy can afford a house that's $250,000. And he can't. You see how he can't afford a house that's $250,000? The mortgage payment is too much, so he can't afford to buy this house. So he's been pre-approved, so to speak, for $210,000. Okay, $210,000. Okay. Now, if you're a bank, it's 11. He could probably do a little bit more. Let's go 230. Let's see if that gets into the top. Okay. No, that's too much. 220. And this is how it's done, basically. There's steps in between, obviously, to qualify you, but just under 220. Okay, just under 220. Let's just actually, to make this simple, this guy can afford, exactly $216 a month. That's what he can afford to pay. That's, based on his salary, his income, and all that. He can buy this house. So he's been pre-approved for $220,000. Okay, but this guy can't buy a house for more than this. He can't. Now, just to give you an example, you used to walk into the bank, and this is what would happen. The rate is 3.5. That's what you got to qualify for. Okay, before the new rules. So look what happens. That same $220,000 is only $1,000. So what does the bank say to him? They say, hey, you've been pre-qualified. You can actually do $265,000 property. Let's see if that works. A little bit too high, 260. So this guy now can qualify. Same guy. His income hasn't changed. Nothing's changed on his end. But now all of a sudden he can afford a $260,000 house. Does everybody see this? Nothing's changed for the man, the guy. The guy hasn't changed anything, right? Or the couple hasn't changed anything. But now, because there's 3.5, and you gotta, this is how you can get qualified. You're all of a sudden you can buy a $260,000 house. Overnight, when those rules came in, it wasn't completely overnight, but when they announced those new rules and you had to go against the bank rate of 5%, look what happens. Now this guy can't buy a house for $260,000. So what happens to the houses that are $260,000 in the market? What happens to those prices? Because you can't change the guy's income. The guy's income is the guy's income. Yeah, the prices drop. Yes, 100%. And this is exactly what the government wanted to happen. Now, they didn't necessarily want prices to drop, but they wanted them to stop going up. They really wanted them to stop going up. And it's extremely difficult for the government to control the market. So when they do these things, usually it makes sometimes it makes things worse. So what happened is all these prices had to come down now, and now what's happening, and if you look at the stats, Canada is down 5% year over year. And this is the reason why. This is one of the big reasons why. Incomes haven't changed. The economy's had some slight changes, but really it's because of this policy. Okay, it's this policy. Now you're the government of Canada. Okay, so you're the government of Canada. So this person now can afford, you made these new rules, he can afford $220,000. And the government doesn't like to change rules that they bring in, right? They'll modify, do something different, but they don't like to. So what's most likely going to happen? Well, if the market keeps going down, they don't want that. They'd like a soft landing. They like the market to, slowly come to where it's supposed to be. What are your options? Well, watch this. Well, what if I keep that rate, but I change this to 30? Right? What happens? All of a sudden, now it's a 30-year mortgage instead of 25 years at the bank, 1,115. What can this guy afford now? Not quite 260, 250 maybe. Let's see. Yeah, 245. 245. It's a little bit higher than that, but we'll keep it 245. Okay? 245, actually, it's 240. So the market can go up to 240. So what happens to those houses that were 220? We're going to see a bump. Yeah, that's it right there. So we're going to see a bump. All of a sudden, he can afford 240 again. He can afford this house. So what happens to prices when they extend the amortization? What happens? Prices do what? When they extend the amortization, prices do what? They go up. Yeah, of course, because there's more money in the system. What if the bank said 35 years? Oh my gosh, look at this. Now he only needs, 143. So what can he do? Well, let's see if he can afford more house. Can he afford 270? Not quite. Maybe 260. Now all of a sudden those $240,000 houses are going for, say, 260. This is what the government does, and implements to control the market the best they can. They're not very good at it, to be honest, because predictability creates problems in the market. My friend got a 40-year mortgage maybe 8 years ago. They got kiboshed, though. Why'd they get kiboshed, Andy? Just to answer that question, amortization, changes based on what the market needs, right? So it could happen at any time. They're really trying to create a soft landing for a hot market, 4-year, or trying to increase slow market. So 40-year mortgage did okay. His still stands. Oh, he still got it. He's happy with it. I'm sure he is. I mean, I'd take a 99-year mortgage in a second. They're awesome. So to give you an example, there's markets around the world, yes, but he can't get that anymore. Well, Andy, this is the thing. When you get a 40-year mortgage with a bank, let's say because the rates were at 40, you could do 40. All you got to do is renew, right, with that same institution. But if you go to a new institution, you're going to have to meet their criteria for the mortgage. But typically, people who give you a mortgage, when they send you renewal documents, they don't check anything. They don't want to check anything. They just want you to keep paying the mortgage, right? They don't want to know if you lost your job. They don't want to know if you don't have income. They don't want to know anything. They're just looking to make it as simple as possible to renew it. So most of the time, you're not going to have a problem renewing your mortgage because the institution doesn't ask any questions. They just want the renewal for the next 5 years. So what else could the government do to help out the market? Well, the amortization is going to help. The other thing that's going to help the market in the slow market, if you wanted this number to go up, is clearly what? Change the interest rate. So if we go down to 4, look what happens now. That same house. This is the same house, by the way. It's the exact same house. Look what happens. Now, this guy can afford $1,200. His income is his income. The down payment's only $1,000. So what can this guy afford? Well, let's see if we can go 290. Can we go to 290? There you go. Now that same house can be sold for 290. 290,000. Everybody see what's happening here? Everybody understand what I'm talking about? So the government is going to use strategies like interest rate, amortization, mortgage rules, all to control the market. Now, why did they go through all that process? What is it that they're trying to do? Well, the thing that they're trying to do, and I just got to show you on a whiteboard, the thing they're trying to do is really this, okay? So this is what they're trying to do. We talked about this. The market, the appreciation. So this is time. Okay, this is time, and this is price. Okay, that's price. Okay, now we know that the price, the average price appreciation rate is about 6%. It's less, really. It's like 5.5. Let's just for math's sake. And we know that the market doesn't actually do that. It does this. Okay, this is what it does. Now the government doesn't want this ups and downs. They don't like that. So what they'd rather do is do what? Well, they would rather see a market that's doing this, and what they'll do is, if they don't want to put in too many new policies, but they don't want it to keep going up, because the higher it goes up, the more likely it's going to crash. This is a serious problem. So what does the government do? The government says, hey, tell you what, let's put in, oh, does it? Sorry. Let's put in policies. The market's up. We don't like that. You know, it's getting dangerous. What can we do to avoid a crash? So let's put in some policies. And what they're trying to do, they know those policies will create a dip in the market. Okay? So the market, let me just do this again. The market's going up. This is a Vancouver say. It's going up, or Toronto. They know those policies are going to do what? They're going to make the market go down. So what they're hoping for, though, is it does this. It just kind of slides a nice, safe landing right to the average of where it's supposed to be. But typically, when the government gets involved, they prolong a rise or prolong a fall. Unfortunately, this is what happens. So, still just a green line. Oh, come on, really? Oh, maybe it doesn't like the red. Here, let me, hold on. Let me do this. Okay, let me choose another color. Maybe it's the color that's the problem. Let's do gray. Can you see this line? Can you see that line? Oh, weird. Okay, so the market goes like this. It goes up, down, up, down. We know that, right? So the average is 6%, but the movement, you know, up and down, markets go up and down. This is what happens. What the government does is the government, nothing again? Are you serious? Okay, hold on one sec. Let me see what I can do. Can't see up and down. That's so weird. Here, let me do something. Hold on. Let's do this. Hold on 1 second. Share whiteboard. Let's try this again, okay? Hold on. Try a new whiteboard, okay? Never heard that one before. Let's see. Let's see if you can see this. You're working with maybe a 10-second delay. Maybe the internet, something's going on. All right, here we go. Let's try it again. Okay. So I just put up, did you see that? Tell me when you see it, and we'll figure out the delay. Really? Come on. Seriously. Wow. Okay, let me try something else. That's a major delay. Oh, how about now? Oh, I know what's going on. Here, folks, I know what's going on. Let's do this again. There's nothing on the screen, right? Okay, watch. I can fix this. Okay, wait. Let's back it up. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to make the graph again. There, do you see it now? Yeah, I know what's... I know what caused it. Okay, so this is time. This is money. Okay, you see that, right? Yeah. I know what was happening. Okay, so let's look at averages. What is the average? The average is 6%. Yes? Everybody sees that, yes? It's less than 6%. It's more like 5.5. Okay, now we look at the red line. But the markets still move up in like straight lines. It goes like this. Okay? Everybody see that? Yes? Beautiful. We're in business. Now, the government doesn't like that, right? Nobody likes markets to go up and down. If you're just going to work 9 to 5 and you're just paying your bills, nobody wants to see that happen to their house. So what the government tries to do is when markets go parabolic up, like the market has been doing. It's going up. And by the way, they helped do that by making interest rates low, lots of money supply. How does the government fix that? And I want you to keep something in mind. Okay? So market goes down when? When do markets go down? What causes markets to go down? Interest up. Yeah, those are some of the things they could do. When money leaves the system. Yep, Philip, you good. Yep, those are all the things they do. But really, at the end of the day, it's because the money supply has gone down. It could be from loss of jobs, slow economy, interest rates going up. The money supply has gone down. How do markets go up? So markets go up when what happens? When we increase the money supply. Does that make sense? When we increase the money supply. How do we increase the money supply? Reduce interest rates, right? They tried with their increasing the minimum wage, which increased inflation. All of that increasing the money supply. All of that money supply, things that you can do with money supply, are going to stimulate the market. You can make amortization longer for properties. You can drop interest rates. All those things work. Now, the government has been doing that because of the crash in 08, 09, right? They've been kind of stimulating the economy by keeping interest rates low. Amortizations were pulled back, but they dropped the interest rate so much that still the market had room to breathe, right? And what happens is the market goes up. Now the government's getting nervous. They're getting scared. So what they do is they say, hey, how are we going to stop this thing from going straight up? Because the higher it goes up, the harder it's going to come down. Well, let's change the rules. Okay? Now when you get a mortgage, you got to hit the bank rate test, the stress test. What happens? Markets start to come down. This is exactly what's happened. Okay, in the market. Now, again, when the government gets involved, usually it doesn't work out. Okay, so what has actually happened in the market? Well, it's actually done this. And now it's at, down below the average. It's come down below the average. Now, the government doesn't want that either, right? So what can the government do to bring that line back up? Right? You can't see it still? There. Is that better? So what's happened is the markets come down because of the stress test, right? The new stress test, 5%. Now, the same guy can't afford as much house. So what happens? Prices come down, right? So the government doesn't like that, it's coming down pretty hard. They're going to have to figure out a way to bring it back up. They're trying to keep it around that 6% line, 5.5. So the only way the government's going to get that to go up is they're going to have to, what? They're going to have to increase the money supply. How do they do that? Well, the same money needs to buy more house. That's what it comes down to. The same money needs to buy more house, right? So they're going to have to increase the money supply. How do they do that? Well, if you increase the amortization, what's going to happen to this line? It's going to start to go back up again, right? It's going to start to go up again. Why? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. Now all of a sudden the same guy can afford more house. The houses themselves are not changing. The houses don't change. This would explain why the same house in New Brunswick is $160,000 and it's $1 million in Vancouver. It's the same house, same bricks, same mortar, same chunk of land. So the money supply, can really, affect, prices going up and down. Now, if you're trying to time this stuff, good luck. Really, really tough, difficult. If you're trying to make money on capital gains, tough, right? That's what the herd does, and it doesn't work very well. What you want to do is you want to become an expert in financing, because that's going to take all of this, stuff, out of play for you. It's not gonna be something you're gonna have to worry about. Now, the ups and downs create new opportunities for the investor, absolutely. But the fact that a property goes up or down is not going to mean nothing to you. It's not going to affect your investing ability or possibility. That's pretty exciting when you get it. Does that make sense to everybody? Good. We learning something? Yeah. I love this stuff. This stuff blows my mind. It's just unbelievable how simple this stuff is when someone explains it to you. You can get it. It makes sense when someone tells you. But when you don't know, you know, you start creating information, you know. We need to hear a lot of it. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. It's 9:30, okay? We're going to wrap up the meeting. A couple things everybody needs to remember, okay? So did everybody get the link for the new meeting? Has everybody got that? Everybody's got the link for the new meeting, yes? Good, good, good. Good. Everybody's got the link for the videos, yes? Everybody's got the link for the videos, yes? Okay. Everybody subscribe to the video, so you will get new videos when they come up. So you don't have to email me, ask me when they come up. It'll alert you, okay, that they're up. The second thing is keep the new link in your favorites. Keep the new link in your favorites so you can find it next meeting. I want to remind everybody, next week, as you all know, is March break. So I'll be spending that with my family. So we're going to suspend meetings next week, Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern. Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern is when the meeting is moving forward. Okay? So next week we're going to take off. Okay? At least I am in the way of this meeting. That doesn't mean I'm taking off from the support. Okay? I will help you whenever, however, wherever I am. I mean that. So if you need help or assistance, you reach out to me. Don't hesitate. Okay? I don't want you to not do that. I want you to reach out to me. Okay? And I'll be more than happy to support and respond with you. Okay? So I want everybody to look at the opportunities that are in front of you. Move forward. Keep. How do we get the updated sheet? The sheet, Troy, did you get the one that I gave you? This one? That's the most updated sheet, is this one. The 104. Did you get that? Okay, that's the one that's most updated. Let me make some changes to this one, Troy, and everybody else with the suggestions you gave me. And by next Tuesday, I'll share with everybody in Canada, okay? But we'll continue to update it. We'll continue to update it, okay? All right, that was a great meeting. Okay, anybody have any questions before we go out? We good? Awesome. If you're good, type in yes or Y. Type in yes or Y if you're good. Good, good, good. Oh, suggestions for the sheet, have prices, auto-populated. What prices? Do you mean, Andy? I like auto-population. Get clearer. Get it clear. What do you mean get it clear? Like the rent calculations at the top, but you have to add it again at the bottom. What do you mean? What do you mean? This? Here? Why do you got to add it again at the bottom? Do you mean here? Add it here? Is that what you mean? So pull tabs I got. Lots of pull tabs. What is Andy, what are you talking about, pal? You have to add it again. Is that what you mean, this spot here? Can't see the sheet. That's right. Me either. You can't see the sheet because you can't see the sheet. Give me 1 second here. I wanna check something real quick here. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Let's just check something. Okay. So let me real quick. Okay, we'll share the sheet real quick, and then we're gonna wrap up because I got another one with another group coming up. But let me do this first. Share my screen. Share my screen. Okay, give me 1 second here. Okay. So here we go. Is this what you mean here? Where do you mean? This here needs to be added again where? Go down to line 35. Line 35. Here, these things? Is that what you mean, Andy? Oh, the reason I didn't do that, Andy, is this is just for explanation. I didn't want to connect it to the sheet because I wanted it so you can play these. These are manual entry. They are. But if you want, we can do that. I end up changing these because I'm teaching with them, right? This is just for us to understand, right? These are explanations. But if you guys want this to move with this, I just wanted it to be different so you could see that you could punch in the numbers yourself. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Anything else? Pull tabs. Yep. I'm going to add this part to it here. These are the goals, we'll call them. I'm going to add the investor part and update the investor part, make it more dynamic. Otherwise, I think we're good. All right? Awesome. I'll be excited to share that with you. So everybody, reminding everybody, no meeting next week, right? Because next week is March break. No meeting next week. Next week's March break. And we'll be following up the Tuesday. That being said, remind everybody, if you need help, I'm available for you, okay? Sound good? We good? All right. Great job, folks, coming out. We will see you in 2 weeks. Like I said, you need help, reach out to me. I'm with you the whole way, okay? I'm going to make sure you get where you want to go. You just got to do the work. I'll provide the support. We'll provide the support, and you'll get there. All right, folks, have a great night. No, 8:30, Andy, 8:30. Everybody, it's 8:30 Tuesday, 8:30, same time. Did I say 9:30? I'm sorry if I did. 8:30 Eastern every Tuesday, okay? 8:30 Eastern every Tuesday. All right, folks, have a great night, and I will see you all in 2 weeks. Please reach out in the interim if you need anything, okay? Be more than happy to help.